Who would come out on top in a battle? A mantis or a pack of spiders? Could a swarm of ants overpower a venomous scorpion? And does the wasp's natural armor really stand a chance against the world's most dangerous ants? In this video, we're diving into the wild world of insect showdowns to reveal the answers to these burning questions and more. Join us as we explore these thrilling encounters, where tiny warriors clash with fierce adversaries. Let's jump right in. Beetle versus 2 scorpions. Of course, when it comes to a fight between a beetle and 2 scorpions, everyone would likely bet on the scorpions. However, this story has a twist. What we have here is not an ordinary beetle. It's a giant black beetle, the size of a human palm. It has 2 powerful, razor-sharp horns for hunting, as well as fast and nimble legs. Taking advantage of its speed, the beetle exhausted both scorpions, but chose only one as its prey. Soon, it stuck to it and began to bite from the inside, pulling and tugging at everything it could. The beetle immobilized the scorpion in a nasty and unpleasant way, and soon, the scorpion was gone. The winner then proceeded to feast on its prize. No matter how the remaining scorpion disturbed the beetle, it couldn't do anything. Moreover, the person conducting the experiment even removed the second scorpion from the cage. Otherwise, another death would have quickly followed. Snake against all. This must have been the title the authors of the video had in mind when they filmed this. They tested what would happen if you put a venomous snake, a scorpion, a tarantula, and a centipede in the same cage. Do you think it should result in a fierce battle where no one survives? Yeah, I thought the same thing. But as it turns out, the participants in the battle had a different opinion. They left the confines of the experiment and escaped. The snake crawled out first, a centipede climbed on top of it, and somewhere nearby, a spider was crawling on its own. Only the scorpion was left alone in the cage. By the way, if all the creatures were hungry and couldn't escape, which one do you think would emerge victorious? Share your guesses in the comments. Mantis versus Black Widow, a creature that looks as if it came to Earth from another planet. Although it's impossible to confirm or deny this, we know something else. Mantises came into the world a few million years ago. Here's another interesting fact. The ancient Egyptians liked these insects so much that they would mummify them along with the pharaohs and create special sarcophagi for them. Why did the ancient Egyptians prize them so much? Maybe they were struck by the sight of mantises. They have 2 eyes that consist of 10,000 light-sensitive receptors. In fact, each of them is a small eye with its own lens. Thanks to this, the mantis is able to see panoramically in HD. In general, there's really a lot to say about them. They're cannibals. The female eats the male after mating. They have great camouflage abilities. But now, we're going to talk about the impressive fighting skills of this miniature insect. Just look at how easily it defeated the Black Widow, a very dangerous spider. One dexterous movement, and the Black Widow was grabbed by the clinging limbs of the mantis. The insect didn't allow it to make a single move. In addition, the mantis ate it from behind, quickly depriving it of the ability to move and survive. 30 seconds later, the mantis was already enjoying its prey, swallowing the spider's legs one by one. Astonishingly, the prey's companions did nothing to help their comrade. Either it's not typical for them, or they wisely assessed the strength and chose not to risk their own lives. Gecko versus 3 centipedes. However, not everyone, like that beetle, can cope with numerical superiority. A gecko was trapped in the same space with 3 scolopendrous centipedes. The centipedes, being extremely timid, were immediately on the defensive. The gecko, realizing the danger, fought them off, trying to bite them and pin them down. But the centipedes acted as a team. As soon as the lizard attacked one centipede, its body was immediately covered by the other 2. This meant that even if the gecko killed one, the other 2 wouldn't let it go. After a long struggle, the animals eventually stopped fighting. They seemed to realize that cooperation would be better than conflict, and they began trying to escape the cage together. By the way, do you know what helped the gecko climb out? Its legs are covered with microscopic hairs that act as suction cups. These hairs cling only when necessary, preventing the gecko from getting stuck. Army ants. Next, we have army ants, considered the most aggressive and dangerous ants in the world. This is largely because of their sheer numbers. Their colonies can contain up to 20 million ants. And no, this is not a mindless army. It's an entire city with its own soldiers, workers, queen, and those ready to impregnate her. Speaking of the queen, there is always only one in the colony, and she is easy to identify. She has no wings, but that's not the most interesting part. The point is their constant migration. Due to their large family, they are always on the move, constantly searching for food. In a day, the colony can eat up to 500,000 preys, most of which are worms, land arthropods, or larvae. As this video shows, even dangerous creatures like scorpions are no problem for them. The ants swarm the scorpion, immobilize it, and within minutes, the scorpion's life is over. Giant hornet versus spider. Which creature do you think will emerge victorious from this battle? Personally, when I first saw this disgusting spider with all its hairs and big jaws, I thought it would win. Such a large, fearsome creature can't lose, right? Write your predictions in the comments, and let's watch the battle. Besides, it's already started. As soon as the giant hornet noticed the camel spider nearby, it tried to strike, but the spider deftly dodged. The spider, sensing its strength, began to pressure the hornet, but it quickly paid the price. The hornet inflicted a swift bite and injected venom into the spider. From that moment on, time was on the hornet's side. Its venom kills more than 40 people a year, let alone a spider. The spider tried to resist, but the more it fought, the worse it got. Soon, the spider was exhausted and even tried biting its own leg, possibly to amputate it or simply out of pain. In the end, the spider died, and the hornet emerged as the undisputed winner. Bullet ant versus Wasp. Up next, we have the bullet ant, a creature with a sting so painful it's been likened to a bullet wound. This is one opponent not to be taken lightly, with its sting pain lasting up to 24 hours. But there's a twist. A giant wasp is stepping up to challenge the bullet ant, and in a one-on-one battle, it might actually stand a chance. From the first moments, the wasp grabs hold of the ant with its powerful limbs. But something surprising happens. The bullet ant retreats. Isn't teamwork the ant's greatest strength? In the end, this one-on-one fight had no clear victor. The wasp landed serious blows, but the bullet ant gave as good as it got. Yet, the wasp wasn't finished. It headed straight for the ant's nest, perhaps underestimating the colony's numbers. Despite its strong armor protecting it from the ant's venom, the wasp was eventually overwhelmed by sheer numbers. That's a wrap. Which insect gives you the chills the most? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.